What is up, YouTube? AVI back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I repainted this front bumper on my 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse. One of the reasons why I wanted to repaint this was because the paint was faded due to long exposure to the sun. Other than that, the rest of the paint looks fine except for the rust spots on the hood that I got to address. But because I learned how to paint on this front bumper, I can take that knowledge and maybe repaint it on this hood. So some things I learned. I did paint this bumper outside. The air quality was pretty rough with Canada's forest fires and mosquitoes. They're embedded in the paint. So some things I learned, I'm gonna maybe do it inside for the hood. I'll do it in the garage maybe. I'm gonna use the original paint because, as you can see, the paint is not exactly matching. I did use Rust-Oleum's gloss black paint, but it does not match, so I'm gonna have to special order the paint to make it match, something like that. And if you're wondering why the paint maybe looks a little orange peely, is because I did not yet wet sand it and polish it, so I'm hoping that will kind of fix this orange peel look. But yeah, if you guys are interested in repainting your bumper outside with some Rattle can spray paint, then maybe this video is for you. You guys can take some notes. Maybe this video will be helpful. Maybe it'll change your mind. Maybe you're gonna wanna wait until you have some way to do it inside and kind of spend more money with the spray gun and everything. But I'll take you guys along the way. So what I used was 100 grit sandpaper to kind of sand the deeper scratches of the bumper, and then I kind of smoothed everything out with the 320 grit. I used 2 cans of primer, 3 cans of base coat, and 2 cans of clear coat. So this is the result, and I want to show you guys the result now before waiting till the end, because I'm not that, kind of clickbaity person. So if you guys don't want to waste your time further and you guys don't like this result, you can watch another video. But this is how it ended up being my first time ever repainting something to this extent. But yeah, if you guys like Eclipse content, make sure to like, subscribe, check it out. All the other mods I've done so far, headlights, fog lights, I think that's about it. But there's more to come. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the narration over the video clips, and just like that, maybe I out. Oh, and right before we head into that, some of you may ask, oh, why does it need to be repainted? It looks pretty good from afar. Well, actually, as you can see underneath, which not everyone's gonna see, but there's a bunch of curb rash there just from scraping on the roads. And then right up here, very faded black paint from the sun. Maybe you guys can't tell from the camera, but it's fairly faded compared to the deep gloss black on this side. So first time ever attempting this, and obviously maybe there's a better route of ordering a new bumper or getting it repainted by someone else, but this is just for the experience. First time ever doing this, and we're gonna do it with some Rattle can spray paint. So let's go ahead, give it a try. So here we are back in the AVI office, just doing a voiceover. I wanted to show you guys the full process of repainting the bumper. So here we have the products that I used. The brake cleaner was just to kind of speed up the drying process in between sanding and painting. The 2 coats of primer at the beginning there, I know they don't match. I used a black base coat to be my primer along with the gray primer that you would typically use. So that's another mistake I would have fixed on my part. And 3 coats of the base gloss black primer from Rust-Oleum, and 2 coats of clear coat from Rust-Oleum. So that's what I used. I did also use a hairdryer in between painting, things like that. That kind of helped with mosquitoes, try to get them out of the way as well. But as you can see here, I'm just sanding, and just make sure you guys wear protection, mask, gloves, preferably some glassware too. You don't want any of that particle stuff going into your eyes and lungs, things like that. But yeah, so sanding was one of the biggest parts that took most of the painting process. They say that sanding is, just to get everything right, you got to sand everything to perfection, make sure everything's smooth, things like that. And painting is basically just all prep. So as long as you do the prep work, your results should be should be good. But as you can see, I'm doing this all outside and all by hand, so that took a lot of time. And throughout the painting process, this took a whole 3 days of my time to use, even though I've kind of waited a span of weeks to get this done. But it took me 3 days kind of all spread out and stuff like that. So, and after all that sanding, you want to make sure you get all that sand and dust off from the bumper. And what I used was a hose just to kind of hose everything off. And I waited the day to get the whole thing dried and things. And you also want some kind of like alcohol to use. And like I said earlier, I used the brake cleaner. That's kind of like an alcohol to just get rid of all the dust and stuff. And you can use a lint-free towel to do that. And you can tell that a lot of dust does come off even after using a hose. So just make sure you do that and things. And then it was on to the exciting part where I used the primer. The first step in painting basically is using primer. Make sure you want to get that base paint stuck on too. So primer is important for that reason. You don't want your paint like flaking off later in, you know, a few months down the road. So make sure you use a high quality primer. And I used 2 coats of that. Like I said, the first coat was like a base black, and then I used the primer just because I was being cheap. But you want to make sure you get some good quality primer. And then after that, I actually did sand, kind of like a wet sand, just to kind of smooth things out. And then after that, it was all paint through that. After that, so after that, I just used some 3 coats of the black gloss black Rust-Oleum, 3 coats of that. And then I just went straight immediately into clear coat. And you want to make sure with the clear you go on heavy. You might be worried about like running issues, but the paint running kind of comes with the gloss black, the base coat, and then the clear coat. You can just kind of go heavy and just kind of trust the process on that, because you want to make sure this thing comes glossy and nice. And then the process that I haven't done was the wet sanding with polishing. I haven't done that step yet, and I plan to do so just to kind of get the bumper to pop and things like that. But yeah, this narration was kind of short, but it's fairly easy, and once you get into that, you kind of get comfortable doing it. So just trust the process, kind of watch what I did, and if it helps, you guys can replicate it on your own. And if I missed anything or didn't do something, let me know in the comments down below. But towards the end of this, I'm going to show you guys the results when it's clean, things like that, because in the beginning of the video, the bumper wasn't really that clean, so you guys may be skeptical of how it turned out, but I'm going to show you guys how it looks when it's clean. And yeah, also want to mention that on cloudy days, the paint kind of matches well. So being so sunny, you can kind of tell the difference between the paints from the hood and the bumper. But yeah, it looks best on cloudy days. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and just like that, AVI out.